The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 690. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Chen, and today I have an amazing lady on the show today. She's a life coach and a podcaster, and I'm really excited to have her on and share her story with us today on self-confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Christine Chen. Christine, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more by yourself to the listeners.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks so much for having me, Sheena. Like Sheena said, I'm a life coach and I also have 2 podcasts, and it's been through a lot of life's ups and downs that has got me to this point, but really the whole core of who I am is helping people show up as their best selves to live their best lives.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And Christine, what's your cultural background?
I am Taiwanese American.
Thanks for sharing that. And what'd be your favorite self-confidence quote?
I think this one has really resonated with me this past year and has really helped shift my mindset in such amazing ways. And it's just simply, you're exactly where you need to be.
Thanks for sharing that great quote. And I like that because sometimes, we're in a situation where we feel like, why are we in this situation? And, everything happens for a reason. And when we look back, it all makes sense. At the moment, it doesn't make sense. At that moment, it didn't make sense. But later on, when you look back, you can be like, I finally get it. So I really like that quote that you mentioned. And in your own words, how do you define self-confidence?
Self-confidence to me is something that I'm starting to fully realize now. I think in my mid-30s, but better late than never. I think that's somebody else's favorite quote, right? Self-confident quote. But it's really understanding and standing in your self-truth. I think when you're able to fully trust yourself and trust your intuition and take the time to hear what your spirit and your body is telling and leading you, then there's no other place that makes more sense than that. It's like a true place of empowerment. You're not doubting yourself. You're not doubting the universe. You're not seeing as, the world against you or the negative in the situation. You really just show up as who you are and stand in that space. And I think the more that you're able to be in that, the more you're able to fully encompass the idea that we are all connected, that it's not you against me or me versus you. We're all in it together. And I really love, the idea and concept of, if you see us all as individual waves versus, an entire ocean, then as an individual wave, it can be really crazy out there in the ocean. You're looking out for yourself, but you really understand that we're just all part of this grand ocean together, that at the end, it all stems from love. So if you can stand in love, which is what you're made of and who you are, then I believe that that's where true confidence lives.
Thanks for sharing that great definition. And Christine, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
It was definitely a 180 the other way. I was in a deep depression for over 3 years. And, it was brought on by just holding on to anger, resentment, unable to let things go. I was really caught up in, feeling like going back into past events and being like, well, this is why I was right and this is why they were wrong, and trying to justify myself and trying to understand things and understand people that were not meant for me to understand. And it just led to a full out burnout, which was mentally, physically, and emotionally. So that's where I was.
Thanks for sharing that. And what was that point when you realized, you could be the person you can be the person that you are today, have that confidence? What was that aha moment?
This is definitely through life coaching. I took a life coaching program to be a life coach, and it completely shifted the lens that I saw the world in. And I think that was the biggest point where I realized, well, yeah, I'm pointing the finger at everyone else because that's just my bias. That's how I've conditioned myself to see things as. And that's why I overcompensate, because I don't believe that I'm enough. So really examining what my life was and realizing that it wasn't just because the world's unfair. It actually made a lot of sense because of how I saw things, how my thoughts were, and how I internalized what I thought other people were thinking of me, the assumptions, the limited beliefs. And life coaching really helped me choose love over fear and being able to distinguish that and realizing what was really holding me back from what I truly wanted to be and manifest. And now it's happening because I choose love.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And because of your realizations, what's your life been like now?
Completely different. I mean, even though I took a life coaching program to become a life coach, I never thought that it would be like this. Like, I took it as in, I knew that I loved having one-on-one conversations. I had a podcast at the time. I was always a content creator or producer in entertainment. So for me, what I took as little cookie crumb hints was that I love being really personal with people and telling people stories and sharing that. And I'm sure you can relate, Sheena. And from that, I was like, life coaching sounds really interesting. I want to learn how to be a better listener and show up better for people. And through that, just learn that actually what I really want to do is start my own business and learn how to do that and how to, reach more people. And I've reconciled a lot of relationships that I had completely given up on. I'm engaged now, which came from a point of I never thought that I would want to get married. And everything all around my life has completely shifted, but none of the external circumstances shifted. It's because my mental state and the way that I saw the world changed, so that because of that, I show up differently and my energy is different. So yeah, everything has changed.
Thanks for sharing that, and congrats on your recent engagement. I think it's great, and it's amazing what happens when we work on ourselves internally and see things in a different way. Like, we can attract so many great things into our life, and it does take work, but it's totally worth it. So thanks for sharing that. And to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey to self-confidence. What'd be that one tip you would give to her?
I really would say invest in your mental health. I think that's something where I know it's like a buzzword nowadays and it's like, oh, self-love and self-care, but really defining what that means for you. And if it's reaching out to your friends, communication is a huge part in that. And just putting your trust in yourself and how you're feeling. Don't put yourself down for feeling things. They're just emotions, we're all human beings. So, stay curious. It's all a process in sifting through the noise that we've internalized along the way. And it's really like building a mental muscle. So you're just laying the foundation in growing that confidence and self-truth so that when you show up for, yourself, you really show up for other people. And empowerment comes when you stand in your self-truth and detach from whatever happens. And as you realize how powerful and valuable and extremely needed your voice is to create change in the world that only you can do, that burning flame inside you will only grow stronger and stronger. So with that mindset, you'll step into your truest self and impact others around you on a level that creates visible shifts in their lives.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing those great tips. And if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do or check out some of your work, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Definitely. You can follow me on IG. It's xoxo Christine Chen. Or you can go to my website, www.xoxochristine.com, and it has the links to all my podcasts and life coaching and anything else that you want to know.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Christine, you can also head on over to the taoofselfconfidence.com and search for Christine's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else that we talked about. And I really just want to thank Christine today for taking the time to share her story and tips with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much, Christine.
Thank you for having me. This is amazing.
Not a problem. It was great having you on the show. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of the Tao of Self-Confidence. Want to learn how you can use podcasting to market your business? Download your free report by visiting our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.